Welcome to Small Town Whispers, where history, folklore, and the paranormal collide. I'm Bethany Yucuis Borden, and I lived in Watseka, Illinois from 1988 to 1999. For over a decade, I walked the same streets, saw the same houses, and even had friends connected to the story we're about to dive into. This isn't just history for me, it's personal. Welcome back to Small Town Whispers. As I'm recording this, spring is in full bloom here in Wilmington, North Carolina. Warm air, longer days, everything feels alive again. But in the pages of our story, things couldn't feel more different. Last time we were together, an urgent telegram was sent for Dr. Stevens. When he finally arrived in Watseka 3 days later, he was met with something deeply unsettling. Since the incident, Lorancie's body had gone completely still. No consciousness, no response. Just restless movements, and what seemed to be nightmares she couldn't wake up from. Asa explained that neither Mary nor Lorancie appeared to be present. It was as if the body had been abandoned. Even more surprising, the Venom family hadn't been told. At Mary's request, they were to stay away until Lorancie was well again, if that day would ever come. Dr. Stevens tried everything he knew, his treatments, his passes, twice a day, for days on end, but nothing worked. And with each visit, his frustration only grew. Inside the home, the tension was rising in other ways. Anne remained constantly at Lorancie's side, leaving Charlotte to carry the weight of everything else. The exhaustion turned to resentment. One day, Charlotte said out loud what no one else dared to, that the girl might be better off dead than living like this. Minerva was quick to shut that down, but Charlotte made one thing clear. If things went too far, she was ready. And that's where we return to the book, Watseka, America's Most Extraordinary Case of Possession and Exorcism, on page 260. By April 8th, Dr. Stevens was still trying. The results were still negative. He had no idea what was going wrong. The girl had been like this since March 25th, a full 15 days. She hadn't eaten or taken a drop of liquid. On the night of the 8th, Dr. Stevens retired early to his room. He wanted to read, meditate, and just to get away from everyone and try to decipher what was going wrong. He was upset, and he started letting the other side know. In his frustration, he started complaining out loud about not getting any help. He felt abandoned. He felt like he was letting Mary down. He was about to blow out the oil lamp when he saw it. There, drifting from the ceiling, slowly turning in a breeze of its own making, was an envelope. An ordinary short white envelope. It fell lazily downward and onto the carpet. He stared at it for a full 3 minutes before he had the courage to get out of bed and pick it up. Trembling, he opened it. There are 3 points on the Venom girl's body that are in need of physical therapy. The words were written in script, with a kind of European slant to the letters that seemed to have come from an aged and infirm hand. It went on to give explicit instructions on how to heal Lorancie's body. Dr. Stevens read the paragraph over again, unable to believe, yet knowing it was happening to him. There was one line at the bottom of the page, all by itself. He drew nearer to the lamp to read the tiny script. All it said was, "God is with you." "Thank you," he said, pulling the paper close to his heart, feeling very humble and very much ashamed. "Thank you." In the morning, he showed Asa and Anne the letter. "Mary told me I would get a letter from heaven," he said to them. "She wrote and told me I'd get it. She said it would save someone's life." He smiled. Little did she know that it would be her own. For 2 days, Laurancie's physical body received the treatment that had been described in the letter. When she moved on her own for the first time, Anne cried. On the 3rd day, Dr. Stevens began his passes over her once the camphor and the castor oil had been applied. After the first swooping movements, Laurancie opened her eyes and tried to lift her head.
"Ma,"
she said weakly.
"Ma?"
"Right here, darling. Your ma is right here." Anne lightly brushed the girl's hair back from her eyes.
"Ma, it's gonna be all right. The body's gonna be all right."
Anne hesitated before she touched the girl again. "Is that you, Mary?" she asked timidly. "Is that Mary?" She smiled and reached out an arm to catch hold of Anne's full skirt.
"Yes, Ma, it's me, Mary. The body's gonna be all right. Everything's going to be all right."
She fell asleep, still clutching Anne's skirt. Sunday, April 14th, 1878. Easter at the Methodist Church. The Reverend Baker had a smile on his face as he stood there looking at his flock. "It is a blessed day to give thanks." The organist played a spirited rendition of "Christ our Lord is risen today," and everyone sang the Hallelujah chorus with much gusto and feeling. Just before the collection was taken, the minister had a few announcements. He made sure the congregation was well aware of Laurancie Venom's situation and highly encouraged them all to sign the petition Lavinia Durst had started on behalf of the concerned citizens of Watseka. 2 days later, on April 16th, Lorinda Venom made a batch of vanilla-frosted chocolate cupcakes. Chocolate cupcakes were Rancie's favorite. Lorinda put them all in the cake safe, except one. This one she placed in the center of a blue plate, and then stuck one small pink candle into the top of the cake. She lit the candle and began to sing softly. "Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rancie. Happy birthday." Her voice broke. She sat on a kitchen chair and cried. As the petition circulated over the next 2 weeks, the Roff women encouraged Mary to get acquainted with the Venom family.
"But I don't like them. We don't have anything to talk about to each other."
"Mary, one of these days you are going to go away, and Laurancie will come back, and Laurancie will have to return home, to the Venom home."
"That's her, and not me. When I go the next time, I'll just keep right on going."
"We know that," Minerva said, "but think of poor Mrs. Venom. You can see how happy we are to have you here. Imagine how she must feel not to have her daughter there." She supposed they were right.
"Well, I'll go and visit the lady. It can't hurt anything. Her daughter is much stronger now, and so am I. I won't let them get to me, that's all. I promise."
So on Monday, May 6th, Asa Roff was surprised in his office when Laurancie suddenly came in, put her arms around his shoulders, and said,
"Pa, I'm going with Mrs. Venom to visit today."
Laurancie was at home, at the Roff home, by 4. She seemed exhausted after her visit, and Anne told her to lie down. "Did anything happen?" she asked, almost afraid of what the reply would be.
"No, nothing. We had a pleasant afternoon. She showed me some of Laurancie's clothes and things and a scrapbook that her daughter made from the ladies' magazines. Mostly, she just sat there and stared at me. We had tea and fresh-baked cupcakes, and I ate one just for her. You know, Ma, I don't like cupcakes at all, but I ate one just to please her. I feel sorry for that woman. She is so alone. I suppose it'll be good for her when Rancie comes back."
"Yes," Anne replied sadly. "I suppose it will be good for her." The next morning, after breakfast, the men had gone to work or school. Charlotte was washing the dishes. Laurency took Mrs. Roff by the hand.
Ma, can I talk with you privately?
Anne nodded, and the girl led her into the back parlor and closed the doors. She motioned the woman to sit on the sofa, and she sat down beside her. Again, she reached for her hand.
Ma, I've got some sad news for you. I don't know how to tell it.
Sad? I'm used to sad. Don't be afraid, Mary. She held the girl's hand in hers. You can tell me.
Yesterday, at the Venoms, Laurency came back.
Came back? What do you mean?
Just that. I was sitting and talking with Mrs. Venom when Laurency came back and took over her body. She was so happy to see her ma, and they hugged each other and cried, and then Laurency went away again. That's why I was so sad yesterday when I got back here.
Anne got up and went to look out the window, trying to delay her tears.
Ma, I don't know what this all means. I don't know when that girl will be back for good. Do you hear what I'm saying, Ma? I don't know how much longer we will be together. Oh, Ma.
And she rushed into Anne's arms.
I don't want to leave you again. Not again. Please, Ma. Don't let them take me.
Anne wanted to cry herself, but she held back. Mary, child, my child. It'll be all right. It has to be all right. Don't take on so.
But I want to stay here with you and Pa forever.
Nothing is forever. You told me that yourself when you came back here. We love you. Your Pa and I haven't been so happy in years as we have these past weeks. We love you and don't want to see you leave us. But you know you have to. You know that.
I suppose. But that doesn't make it any easier.
Anne reassured the girl. Laurency wiped her eyes, closed her eyes, and sighed a couple times. After watching her for several minutes, Anne quietly stood up and walked toward the closed doors. She heard the cry coming even before it was out of the girl's throat.
Who are you? I want my ma.
Laurency?
Yes. Where's my ma?
Anne took a deep breath. Your ma isn't here right now.
Where is she?
Over to her place.
Why'd she leave me here?
She didn't leave you here. My daughter Mary Roff brought you here. She paused, watching how this information reflected on the girl's face. You were sick in the body, and my daughter brought you here to get well. The girl started to get off the sofa.
Please let me go home. I don't want to stay here.
Do you want me to grab your coat?
Yes, ma'am, please. I want to go home.
You just sit right there. I'll fetch your things. The girl remained on the sofa as Anne went into the front hallway where Laurency's winter coat was hanging. She brought the coat into the parlor. Here, put this on and I'll walk to your place with you. The girl was still on the sofa, her hands over her eyes. When she took them away, she smiled at Anne.
Oh, Ma, did you see? Did you see how she comes and goes now? But she let me come back again, Ma. She let me come back again.
The two embraced.
Don't know for how long, Ma, but I'm going to appreciate every minute of it.
On Monday, May 13th, Asa had two visitors in his office. One was the Reverend Baker, and the other was Mrs. Lavinia Durst. They didn't beat around the bush. After making some threats and demands, Asa dismissed the unwanted guests. He opened the door and pointed into the hallway. If you don't mind, I have work to do. Laurency was standing there, her hand still raised as she was about to knock on the closed door.
Then we won't disturb you, Pa. Dr. Stevens and I can come back later.
Laurency, what are you doing here? We were out for a stroll and thought it would be nice to drop in for a visit, Dr. Stevens replied. I'm sorry if the moment was inopportune. No, come in, sir, the Reverend Baker said. As a matter of fact, I've been anxious to meet you. Asa shrugged and took the girl by the hand. You might as well hear this, doctor, he said. This is the Methodist minister I was telling you about, and this is Lavinia Durst. The doctor's eyes widened. Indeed? Well, this is a surprise. I've been looking forward to meeting both of you. They brought me this piece of paper, Asa said. A petition that I send Larancy away to Springfield. He motioned to the folded sheets on his desk. Lavinia did her usual mocking of the situation. She went so far as to threaten them with going to the governor to get Larancy locked up. Larancy was about to respond when she stopped and put her hand over her eyes. Now what? Asa asked.
Nothing, Pa. I'm listening.
Listening? Listening to what? Lavinia asked.
If you be quiet, I could hear. They are talking to me.
They? The minister asked. Larancy took her hand away from her eyes and looked at Dr. Stevens.
They said there was nothing to worry about. They had everything under control.
Control my foot. Lavinia was in the doorway. It'll take more than your demons to keep you here in Watseka, young lady.
They said you were to take this as a warning and not to bother me again.
And so have you been warned by 428 signatures. She went down the hallway, the Reverend Baker following right behind her. The girl looked at Asa.
She's been warned, Pa. I tried to tell her, but she won't listen. She's been warned.
In a time of confusion and grief, people reached for what they knew, for faith, for truth, for something steady to hold on to. Some saw danger, others saw something divine. But underneath it all was the same quiet question. Could there really be more waiting for us on the other side? A place of peace where love isn't lost, where voices we've missed might somehow find their way back to us. This week we've heard every perspective: fear, faith, doubt, and wonder. And maybe the answer isn't as simple as choosing one over the other, but learning what it means to trust, even when we don't fully understand. Next week brings both joy and sorrow, a visitor from the past, and a warning that asks us to listen closely. So before we turn the page, let's step out onto the porch, where the light still shines in the darkness, and the stories remind us that, even in the unknown, we're never truly alone.
Now, join me under the porch light, the place where memories meet the present, and voices from the past still linger in the dark. Tonight, we listen, not to the pages from a book, but to the people who have felt the unexplained and found the courage to share it. Welcome to Porchlight Whispers.
This week, our Porchlight story comes from Reddit, a post that stopped me in my tracks because it asks something I think a lot of us have wondered, but maybe don't always say out loud. And the title alone pulls you in. It was shared by Miranda Joe 93 in the subreddit r/paranormal. My fiance is speaking to me from the other side. Can anyone relate? People say I'm crazy and that I'm just grieving, and that this is my mind's way of getting me through the grief process. My fiance passed away almost 2 years ago. We were together for 7 years. It hit me really hard. Anyway, I read a book called Signs by Laura Lynn Jackson, a psychic medium. In the book, she explains how to notice signs that our loved ones are sending from the other side. She said these signs sometimes come in the form of animals or nature. For example, if a deer randomly stops and stares at you from a close distance and doesn't run away, it may be a sign from your loved one. Or if you find a penny in the dryer that is balancing on its side, that could be a sign. She said the strongest sign, however, is when you hear or see something that you know in your heart is a direct connection to someone you love on the other side. For instance, if your dead Aunt Sally absolutely loved Alice in Chains, and on a day when you are particularly missing her, you turn on the radio, and the first song you hear is Rooster by Alice in Chains. With that being said, I write stories and poems in my spare time. I also read a lot of stories and poems. For the past couple of months, it seems like his name pops up all the time in stories I read, podcasts I listen to, and videos I watch. His name was Arthur. It's not a popular name. You don't hear it very often, not only his name, but also his birthday. Another thing is that our song was The Gift by Seether. It's not a very popular song, so I didn't think I would hear it as a sign, but I see The Gift literally everywhere. There's a new TV show on Netflix called The Gift. It's a show that I would never even remotely be interested in, but yet it showed up in the very first slot of my recommended for you list. I purchased an anthology of short stories the other day, and the very first story in the anthology was called The Gift. 2 stories later, the main character's name was Arturo, which is the Spanish translation of Arthur. Someone randomly sent me a poem a couple weeks ago called The Gift. It just keeps popping up everywhere. Then, to top it all off, I had a dream about a month ago. I was standing in the doorway of an old house, and Arthur walked up to me, and the sunlight was shining on his face and hair. He smiled really big, and I just ran and wrapped my arms around him. We hugged, and I kept telling him how much I missed him. He kept saying, I know, it's okay." Then I looked up at him with tears in my eyes, and he said, "Did you get the message?" And then I woke up. So my question is, am I just grieving and turning coincidences into wishful thinking? Or do you guys think that our loved ones on the other side somehow have a way of altering reality and making things happen? That's the question, isn't it? When something shows up once, it's easy to dismiss. Twice, maybe. But when it keeps happening again and again and again, at what point is a coincidence more than just a coincidence? Personally, I do believe in signs. Maybe not always in big, dramatic ways, but in quiet, meaningful moments that feel just a little too perfect. Electronics seem to play a role sometimes, like when the lights flicker, or a song comes on at the exact moment you needed it. An animal appearing where it shouldn't be and lingering? I pay attention to all of those things. I believe some people are more sensitive to it, that there are those who can pick up on something the rest of us might miss. And yes, I think it's possible that Arthur could be reaching out. I mean, I always joke with Chris that if I go first, I am absolutely haunting him. But not everyone sees it that way. Somebody responded, "I don't believe it's a coincidence, but even if it is, it's beautiful to have something to soothe you. I firmly believe your love was so strong that he will always be with you. Maybe sending you those messages was his way of helping you grow and move forward. He wants you to know it's okay. He's okay, and that you're going to be okay as well." Such a beautiful story. Keep believing. So sorry for your loss. Another person shared something a little more personal. I don't think our loved ones go very far after they die. My 89-year-old grandfather is on the decline. To help explain how far on the decline he is on oxygen and cannot walk over grass anymore. The strength it takes to brush his teeth exhausts him. It's sad to watch. I visit him when I can. When I visit him, there are times when he will stare into space at nothing. One day, I wondered what he was looking at. I prayed inside my head a half-hearted prayer that I was not really expecting an answer to. I prayed, "God, what is he looking at?" It was only for a split second, but God showed me. I looked outside the picture window, and instead of his front yard, I saw a glowing golden sky and endless grassy hills. People were in the distance, but I didn't get a very close look. It's like I was seeing it through a veil or a sheer curtain. After what I saw, it is my theory that our loved ones don't go far. I think there is another plane of existence that they move on to. What I saw may have been the afterlife. God may not have allowed me to see it in detail because I'm still with the living. I imagine that grandfather gets longer, more thorough glimpses beyond the curtain. I haven't asked, of course. He is a God-fearing Christian, but also a very practical man. When he moves on, it is good to know that he is going to such a beautiful place. For that split second, the colors I saw could not be compared to anything I have seen in life. Since then, I have also been at peace with my own mortality. If I keep serving God the best way that I know how, I believe that is where I am going. So to answer your question, yes, I believe loved ones can communicate beyond the grave. I believe that if God allows, they can cross the boundary that we are unable to cross. Your fiancé may be communicating with you. Others offer different perspectives. These aren't coincidences. I'm not religious, but I do believe in a greater consciousness, which we all rejoin after death. Actually, the greatest illusion in this life is that we're separate at all. We're not, but that's the puzzle we're all meant to solve, I guess. I don't know. But these visitations are really beautiful. Don't forget to keep living life, though. And then there's always the voice of doubt. It's a demon. They are able to imitate the deceased, and they know the person's entire past. Sorry. So where do you land? Are these signs, messages, comfort, or something else entirely? We'd really love to hear what you think, and if you've ever experienced something like this for yourself, you can send us your stories at porchlightwhispers@gmail.com. Until next time, pay attention.
That was this week's edition of Porchlight Whispers. Do you have an experience of your own to tell? We want to hear your stories. Share your experience and let your small town whispers become part of ours.
And with that, the porch light dims, but the whispers stay with us. Join us again next time when another voice steps into the light.